The Third Commission is an organization created in 2016 as part of the Protocol of Peace, whose leader was Juan Manuel Santos, and along with other people such as Francisco Ruz and Alexander Miller, this organization's sole purpose is to clarify what really happened during times of conflict. The process that were being held at different towns and as a way to continue the peace treatment between the Colombian government and the FARC's EP is also important for the Commission to investigate and clarify the causes and victims. This process aimed to ratify the rights of all people in the nation. Since then, and up to this year, the Commission wants to create a space where actors can communicate and compromise to avoid these terrible events happening in the future, allowing Colombians to be in a continued and stable peace for a long time. Today, we are here with Manuel Marulanda Vélez, who was the creator of La Farc in 1964, and Abril, who is a peasant from Bichada that was deeply affected by the conflict. They then both are going to talk to one another and try to reconciliate. So, next, we are going to introduce Manuel. Hi, Manuel. Can you talk a little bit about your life?
Well, my real name is Pedro Antonio Marin Marin, and I have several nicknames, such as Marulanda or Tiro Fijo. I was born in Genoa, Colombia, May 13, 1928. I used to be a farmer, but when I was 13, I decided to leave home and adventure myself into the city of Bogota, and I work in different jobs such as butcher, salesman, and as a baker. In 1948, I participated in the Bogotazo, as I was, like all my family, a liberal supported, and I decided to take part in the liberal guerrillas, helping as a limpio and as a común. However, was in Ceylon where I had a radical change, as I saw how the conservatives and the Colombian government killed 150 liberals. Then I had both of my nicknames. First as Tiro Fijo, for my great ability using the gun and the rifle, and as Manuel Marulanda Vélez, as a tribute to a communist leader murdered during the violencia, and who I admire greatly. In 1951, I signed up with the liberal guerrillas of Gerardo Loaiza, and then I decided to create a communist movement of my own, along with Jacobo Arenas, Charro Negro, at the south part of the Tolima department. Although during the time of the National Front, the guerrilla and me decided to stop the conflict, as we thought the Liberal Party would have its interests insured. But in January the 11th, 1960, the communist leader Charro Negro was murdered, and as the government announced, they would control all the zone by force and kill any other insurgency movement. There I knew there was necessary to return to the guerrilla warfare.
Yes, and there is where that man affected my family as he took part in the meeting to unify the communist forces in the country and fight against the government, while my elder brother enrolled in the National Army in 1962. The National Army arrived at our town, Marquetaila, Tolima, and started the conflict, followed by skirmishes in Atagaima and Planadas, where 16 and 15 soldiers died. In the last one, my elder brother died. But it wasn't all, as my younger brother decided to also join the National Army as a way of helping to recover the peace in the region. By the time was preparing, Marulanda took the control of some towns in Cauca, and in 1964 he founded the Bloque Sur as an official revolutionary movement that 2 years later became the FARC EP. Finally, the only family I have by then participated in the military Operation Soberanía, as a way to end with all the insurgency in Marquetaila and each one of the bloques in the country. They were not only murdered, but also tortured and dispersed, and even they extorted us long after his death. All this process continued, ambush after ambush, and lots of families suffered.
That's totally right, as the FARC, ordered by Marulanda, were responsible for the abuses and torture to other people, civilians, and belligerents. And as the intellectual author of political assassinations, recruitment of minors, and around 3,500 terrorist acts are directly linked with him. But, anyways, something to say?
I'm sorry about what happened. The armed conflict in Colombia was the result of the lack of a peaceful communication between a lot of sectors who wanted that this country change and were unable to come to an agreement.
You're right. Sadly, this has been the reality of our country for a long time. Let's hope that everything is going to improve.